Hey everybody, this is SourceFed. I'm Joe Beretta.
I'm Philip DeFranco.
He's here.
We're gonna speak words at you.
Yeah. All right, guys, when it comes to voting, something that tends to get a little bit lost sometimes in the grandeur and spectacle of the presidential race are the propositions and the measures, the other stuff. People literally walk into voting booths ready to fill in presidential bubbles, and then they have these books to read, and they're like, what is this? What? And that's too bad. It's too bad that that is the reaction, because these are the true vehicles for change. This is the fun stuff. People are gonna get really angry or really happy with whatever way this stuff goes. So we want to give you guys a quick rundown of some of the more, I don't want to say important, but interesting propositions and measures.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, let's do that.
First, we have the marijuana propositions. Washington and Colorado both legalized marijuana for recreational use. So it's not like, oh, I go to a doctor and I'm like, I can't sleep, and also I really want to eat more cereal. But it's not gonna be like, I saw a guy, I think it was on Fox News this morning, that said, what's gonna stop people from getting all potted up and go driving? Well, you'll have to be 21 years of age, and they've actually set a legal limit for THC in your body. For those wondering what the exact limit is, it is 5 nanograms of THC, I guess, in case you're a scientist. Now, granted, it is still not cool on a federal level, so don't go crazy, but
it passed.
It's a very big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a huge social change thing. And quick tangent, how are they going to test it? Is it like an inhaler for the blood alcohol level?
The thing that's scary about that is it stays in your body for so long. I don't know why I know that, but it stays in your body for so long.
Yeah.
How will it be accurate?
Ooh, we got a bunch of fun things coming up ahead. Oregon had the same vote going up, and they rejected the recreational use. Massachusetts joined 17 other states that have already legalized the use of medical marijuana, while Arkansas voters rejected it. Arkansas. You'll get that in like bar trivia sometimes. They'll be like, what is the only state that has another state's name in its name? And you don't think about it, but it's Arkansas.
I'm totally gonna do that when I get dragged to that thing that I don't like to do. Then there was the prop for doctor-assisted suicide for the terminally ill in Massachusetts, which was rejected with a crazy vote of 51% to 49%.
Super close. A lot of stuff in this election was super close.
Insanely.
And yeah, it didn't pass in Massachusetts, but what is interesting is that 3 states still do allow it, and it's all in the Northwest, which is apparently kind of a dark place. Washington, Oregon, and Montana. Weird.
Hometown pride. This prop would have allowed doctors to prescribe medication to those that are terminally ill to end their life. And on a personal note, I was somewhat disappointed. I mean, it's something we've talked both on SourceFed and my show, the government jumping into a person's life, a decision that they make on themselves. And it's not like someone's suffering from depression. It's a terminally ill, going to die in a massive amount of pain.
Yeah, it just might be nice to have the choice. I know my next 6 months are gonna be filled with pain and suffering. Maybe I don't wanna go through that. And bringing it back with a little bit more happy stuff, we're gonna talk about some same-sex marriage, which is always a hot topic. And what is really important with what we're about to talk about is that these changes came about because of the popular vote, as opposed to being signed in by law. Maine and Maryland and Washington approved same-sex marriages, and Minnesota voted against defining marriage as between a man and a woman.
Once again, I'm in favor of this. I kind of love Washington because between this and marijuana, it seems like they're having their coming out party. And they're like, yeah. So once again, my opinion, props to you, Washington. Then we have the California rundown. There was Measure B, which would require condoms to be involved in porn. There are also like these other crazy restrictions, and
it surprisingly passed. It passed. I did not think it was going to, and it did. For me, it seems like it's been made a bigger deal than it really is, but it actually kind of really is a big deal because it brings millions of dollars into the Los Angeles economy. Now all these porn actors are like, well, you're not gonna let us do the sex thing unprotected here, we're gonna go do it somewhere else. And they literally will. They're just gonna go hop on a plane and go F some more in Florida.
We're going to lose money, and people are just going to be there instead. The big argument here was that when you have a sex trade regulated like you have it in Nevada, where people have to wear condoms, the STD rate is lower than it is here in LA with the porn industry.
Yeah, they were saying that prostitutes in Nevada have lower STD rates than porn stars in Los Angeles. And that was one of their sticking points, people that were for Measure B.
The only thing is those that were opposed to it were saying, well, how does this relate to anything else? Like, regardless of if you work in porn or not, like, you could be having sex without condoms. And this is just another example of the government getting into your vagina, though protected, still in there.
And then Prop 36 passed, which was a change to the 3 strikes law, which said that if you had a 3rd strike, doesn't matter how big your offenses were on the 3rd strike, you would be put in jail for a very long time. And they've changed that 3rd strike to it has to be a violent offense.
And I think this is a very smart move. It does not make sense to send someone to prison forever, especially when it's going to cost us money. And it also involves the bigger conversation of, isn't prison supposed to be about rehabilitating and actually protecting the public than what it seems to be these days? Then there was Prop 34, which wanted to revoke the death penalty in California and replace it with just life in prison, but it failed with only 47.3% saying yes. I was actually gonna vote no on this, and then through our conversations with the lovely Elliot Morgan, I voted yes, but I guess people did not not share my new opinion on capital punishment.
And then there was California's Prop 37, which would have been labeling genetically engineered food, and that did not pass at 53.1%. It actually ended up being like a really hot topic the whole election.
It kind of goes into what are GMOs. Is it just very smart cross-pollination of these foods that you're putting into your mouth, or is it evil doctor scientist types with lab coats like injecting stuff?
So the labeling would have cost a lot of money, so people were like, no, no.
But once again, like most of the props, it was a lot of he said, she said. Does it actually cost money? Those in support of Prop 37 saying no, that there will not be a new cost to consumers. You're already printing labels just because you're also saying, hey, we genetically modified this food. Oh, terribleness. If you don't know, studies have linked GMOs to organ toxicity, allergies, other health problems. And I think the thing that rubs me the wrong way is Monsanto. Monsanto, if you don't know, makes genetically modified food, and they put $8 million to kill this bill. And also, very interesting fact, the people that work at Monsanto voted to have no GMO food in their cafeteria.
Oh boy.
But yeah, California's cool with it.
Look, as soon as you start putting more information on labels, you don't have room for cartoon mascots, and we need cartoon mascots. They make us feel better about our food. Facts. Science facts. Maybe. And again, you guys, we're talking about propositions and measures in this video because it's all about social change and the direction the country is heading. And speaking of change, ladies had an amazing election night. A record-setting 19 women will serve in the Senate, and that number could jump up to 20 if Heidi Heitkamp survives a recount in North Dakota. And New Hampshire elected the first ever all-lady delegation. Democrats Ann McLean and Carol Shea Porter were elected to the House, and Democrat Maggie Hassan took home the governor crown. They joined Senators Democrat Jean Shaheen and Republican Kelly Ayotte on the lady squad.
Other fun lady facts: Hawaii elected the first ever Asian American female to the Senate, and Wisconsin's Tammy Baldwin is the first ever openly gay senator. That's change.
Do you feel us growing? We're growing together.
I feel like it's mainly that a lot of people are just catching up. So question to you guys, how do you feel about the way that some of these propositions went? Do you think that, you know, GMOs are a big deal? Are you not so much? Should people wear condoms when they're making the porn flicks? Should Joe Beretta continue wearing a beanie? Things and stuff that matter.
This is change, people. This is change. Get used to it. So yeah, give us your answers in the comments down below. And as soon as you guys are done doing that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the annotation for more video goodness, and go to SourceFed.com for all types of news business. We got text news, we got video news, we got pretty ladies, we got everything. So go check it out. I'm Joe Beretta.
I'm Philip DeFranco, and the rest of the SourceFed crew will be here when they're not hungover.
3 days.